Hello and welcome to another Tales from a Professional Nerd. My name is BryanCPSteele, and I will be your nerd today and any other day that you watch one of my silly little shows. Hi everybody, it has been a great week. It has been a really good week, and today's going to be a fast episode, mostly because I have got a ton of things to do and not a lot of time to do them before Gen Con, which is the whole point of this episode, is to basically talk about what I'm excited for, and if you are going to Gen Con, where you will be able to find me. So yeah, let's blast through the week in Bryan. Hobbying, I got a bunch of stuff primed. I've got my charity piece for Gamehole primed. I got a bunch of role-playing game models primed for the Gamehole events, because I know I'm going to be painting those over the next couple months. I got my model for Nuggle converted, the gnome work arm sculpted, and he's primed, ready to rock and roll. But I haven't actually got any painting done. I also 3D printed a bunch of rodent heads for a friend of mine. He has a family member he needs to make stuff for. It's a long story, but basically I had to go on an STL hunt for chipmunk heads. Or rather, full-size chipmunks, and then I had to slice the heads off of them in the slicing software. It's a thing, but it happened, and it's cool, and, you know, it's a fun project. I'm glad to be a part of it. Personal stuff, things are going well. I actually had a doctor's appointment today. Other than a little bit of tinnitus that we're going to go check out, my numbers look good, my blood pressure looks good, my weight loss is happening. I mean, knock on wood, things seem to be going okay on the personal side of things. Apart from the fact that it is a bazillion degrees out in Indiana right now, meaning that it's hot. It's hot and uncomfortable most of the time. So my air conditioning is kicked off. I thought I was going to need my fan to go while I was recording today, but it would create an awful sound in the background. So I'm just gonna suffer for my art. I suffer for you. Actually, it's not that bad. My air conditioning is doing just fine. Yeah, I think that's it on a personal level. Last weekend I had my family Christmas in July barbecue, where all of my family members get together, and we don't really have, it's not like full-on Christmas, but it's we eat together, we laugh, we have some drinks, we sit around the campfire. My son got to bring his girlfriend around to meet everybody, and it was a good time. Other than about halfway through the day, we got hit with torrential rain, like thunder that shakes the air, and rain that comes in sideways to the point of flooding. But as I was telling my mom, because she was immediately, she's the matriarch, she's the one that puts everything together, and she was like, oh, so the weather, I hate this, and like I told her, I was like, not only would I rather be wet, I would rather be wet than hot, and I would rather be laughing and having a good time because of this crazy weather than sitting around in just sweating and uncomfortable. I would much rather have a bunch of rain and a bunch of laughter and fun moments and some wet clothes and shoes than just unable to do things because it's so oppressively hot. So it was a good time. We had a blast. And I was very, very happy. In the middle of it, I did get some very good news, which we'll talk about in the work section of things. The spring-loaded trap box for a little stuffed fizz gig to hopefully jump out and surprise my sister. The spring box that I created did not work. It got a laugh out of everybody because it went instead of actually jumping. But my sister Angela, she loved the present, and understood immediately what I was trying to do and the part of our childhood that I was referring to. So the message was received. She enjoyed what I gave her and knew exactly where I was thinking. So much love to her, and I wish it would have done what I wanted it to do, but it's okay. It is in fact the thought that counts. Gaming wise, haven't got a lot of gaming in. I got to play in a Strange Hollow playtest last night, which we learned a couple of things about 2024 rules, just a few little things here and there, stuff that we're still kind of learning as the new 5e rules have rolled out, or 2025 rules, or whatever they're going by now. But I will say that one of the things that we did learn is going from level 4 to level 5 as a ranger in the new D&D is massive. It's I don't want to say it's like prime level, but it is easily, you get an extra attack, you get an extra hunter's mark, you get 2 extra spells, you get second level spells. I mean, like, it's a big hike. And it I don't want to be like it feels unbalanced, because we haven't played at the new level yet, but looking at some of the other classes that at 5th level, they don't get nearly as much. It just seems like a weird progression hike, but it is what it is. Then let's see what else. That's, I think, it for gaming wise. Play a little Baldur's Gate. Didn't get a chance. I was going to get a good... I got to play a couple of games of solo. Testing out my solo rules for Xeogenesis. I'm not a big solo game, miniatures game player, but it seemed to work. Like, it seemed to function, so I think I did good on the rules. I think anything that when you're playing solo miniature games, there's a little bit of, you have to kind of be honest with yourself when you're playing. Not like don't cheat or things like that, but more like if the if then tree, if the action tree of board state versus what it's going to do says to do a thing at a particular time, you have to kind of play it as if you were playing again, like almost as if you kind of were sitting in that character's or that model's player if it was a human. Like, there's a little bit of that. You have to kind of take that into consideration. But for the most part, they worked out. They worked out pretty well. I got 2.5 games in. Half game because about halfway through the game, my alarm went off and I had to go do something else. Let's see, anything else? I think that's really about it. Like, gaming wise, work stuff. So bunch of stuff with work. Whoa, work. First and foremost, things with Intergalactic Heroes have turned a very cool corner, a very rad corner. We haven't announced stuff yet, but there's some alterations to how we are putting the books out and in what capacity, what the books will... I mean, the player's guide is still the player's guide, and in fact, actually, we added a little extra cool stuff to it. But the Game Master's Guide is going to be changing what it represents, and then we're actually adding another another kind of volume to start the Intergalactic Heroes series. So yeah, I'm excited about all of that. Very excited about that. In fact, it's taken up a lot of my time. I have about halfway done with the World of Drashar Quick Start adventure. And that's, I like writing adventures. It's fun. I mean, I'm much more of a design monkey. Like, I would much rather be making rules and classes and feats and spells. But it is fun to be able to tell a story and add things, add little moments and stuff that's not quite full mechanics. So it's not like every time you fail this, you get this, but like in this adventure you can. So it's a nice way of adding things that I think would be fun for the system. but not necessarily trying to get a brand new rule into a game. Let's see what else. Speaking of designing and stuff, still hammering away at the Monster Hunters, the Monster Trainer's Handbook for Dungeon in a Box. Super happy with how things are. It's a lot of work. But I'm happy with how it's progressing. And I think once we get through all of this, the final product is going to be very cool. It's going to be a very fun thing. The pre-order site for Augment Issue 3, I believe, came out. Or it's soon to be coming out. The physical copies of Night Court are out in the world. And I think the two big Warzone, we'll see, Warzone Alex should be getting the last of the stuff. We're effectively just waiting on the fulfillment center to finish up their half of the process, and then we're on to off to starting to look at retail and getting things squared away for the next models. So exciting. In fact, we've got a very cool meeting at Gen Con to talk about the future of Warzone. So excited about that too. I say excited a lot because I'm so excited. But yeah, no, it's just lots of good things, and including, speaking of good things, have very good news. I mentioned that I got a phone call at the Christmas in July barbecue. It was my good friend and colleague Tommy Gofton from Lynn Vander Studios. So I've mentioned here a couple of times that there is something in the works that when I could talk about it, I would, and that I didn't want to jinx it. I didn't want to put the cart in front of the horse and then it not work out before I said anything. So I will, when we get a little closer to the actual product launch and the Kickstarter launch and whatnot, I will give a whole episode to it. But I have been trying, and most of you know this, I have been trying to get the Thundercats license to do a role-playing game for well over a decade. And about a month ago, maybe a month and a half ago, Tommy had called me and asked if he could put my name into the mix because he was trying to get the license. And I obviously said yes, of course. Well, this last Saturday at the campout, Tommy called me and let me know the ink is dry, we've got the license, and we are making the first official Thundercats role-playing game. I cannot express to you how excited I am. This is something that I've wanted to do for ever. And to be fair, is I'm hoping that this goes well enough and does well enough that immediately when this is done and we get it out and we go, yeah, that was cool, that they go, how about doing Silverhawks, or how about doing a Tiger Sharks source book? Whatever the case may be, even just getting the first part is it is young professional Bryan's. It was one of my dreams. I've got a couple of dream licenses, and that was one of them. So I'm gonna get to be part of that process. We're a small team of people that are writing and designing it, which means I'm gonna have a decent amount of input. Yeah, over the moon. Can't wait. And I'm putting in the notify me landing page thing in the description of this video. Please, even if you are one of those people that are like, I probably will never back it, go to the landing page, click on the notify me. It does help with the algorithm, and it also helps show the licensor that this was a good idea, and that they were right to trust us. They were right that this is going to be a good game. So please just go over there, notify it, and then obviously when it comes out, please get it too, because it's going to be amazing. It's going to be fantastic. So yeah, that is probably one of my I'm walking on cloud 9 professionally right now. Yeah, I can't tell you how cool that is. While I don't know, Devin and Tommy and I have not sat down to figure out exactly what we're gonna do as far as like, origins and classes and all of that. I've got a lot of notes already, and I am eager to hopefully. I mean, I'm not going to assume to take the lead on it. I would love to. I would love to say that I am, but I also know that Tommy and Devin Lindvander is their baby, and while they are very busy and have a lot of irons in the fire, so do I. But I would absolutely love to be able to kind of forge forward and semi-captain the ship. It'd be amazing. I don't have words. Anything else for work? Oh yes. So speaking of preview pages and things and very cool stuff. So the Infinite Stories website, the preview and the pre-launch has happened. It is now active. Please follow the link in the description of the video. Go there, grab a preview account, page around, look at some cool things. It'll give you an idea of what that of what that site's going to be about and the kind of quality of process that we're going to be putting together with it. I'm very heavily involved with that company as a creative, as an artisan, as they call it. I'm creating a lot of the background and a lot of the things that they are going to be having as like the core assets to the system. So please go over there, sign up for the pre-launch, take a look around. I think that you're going to like it. It's a very cool concept, and for me personally, it is a very big. It's a big step toward creatives being able to do things that are protected against Gen AI scraping. A bunch of these other websites and stuff that are basically data mining, and the Chris, the CEO of Infinite Stories, he set this up as gaming is really getting a big technological bump. Like it is ever since the pandemic, digital gaming and digital assets and resources are they were big before, but they became almost like 100% necessary in a lot of circles. And with that, it has unfortunately become also very interwoven with AI and Gen AI. I could have an entire episode dedicated to it, but I don't want to spread that kind of negativity around. It is bad. It is bad for creators. It is bad for the creative process, and it is bad for being able to enforce legality, be able to enforce IPs and legal structure. So Chris has wanted from the very beginning to create a digital tool that is safe from Gen AI, that is 100% against it, and a place where artists and things can go to make some money using their creative talents without fear of it being stolen, scraped, and resold by someone else, or a place where they don't have to compete against lazy AI slop that got thrown through some well, I took 10 minutes to put it through the algorithm and boom, okay, cool, I'll put a 99-cent price tag on it, and even if 100 people buy it, that's $100 I didn't have. So this is really a cool program, and it is not only cool technologically, but it's very interesting. Obviously, I'm biased, but it's very interesting material. It's a very cool setting that Chris has come up with, and he's letting us help, flesh it out and create more stuff for. And it's got a very good moral and ethic background to why it exists. So please follow the link. Go to the preview page, take a look around. Obviously, it doesn't cost you anything. And who knows, maybe if you are a D&D creator or you're thinking about being a D&D creator, give it a look-see. It's worth a few minutes of your time. All right, I think I'm ready to talk about the week in Bryan is done. So next week is Gen Con. Gen Con is a massive show. It's a huge show. It's a mega crazy ridiculous show. And at that show, I will be very busy. It is difficult for me to ever set up much of a schedule to go do things, except for the events and things that I have to do, or meetings that get set in the calendar. It's a big time professional show. But I did want to go ahead and tell y'all for the Thursday through Sunday, where if you are at the show, or you just kind of want to keep the spirit alive from home, is what I'll be doing and where I will be if you want to stop by and say hi and talk, and if you've got an old book of mine that you want signed or something, whatever the case may be, I'll be around. I love that kind of stuff. So my Gen Con in a nutshell, I come in Wednesday. I will set up the booth. I am going with Lynn Vander Studios to Gen Con this year, which is awesome. That our ability to start talking about Thundercats is tied into that. So not only will I professionally get a bunch of time with the other team members, real time, being able to talk about what we want to do. Which is always helpful, but it will also be the first time that we get a chance to actually tell the public about this, apart from posts on websites and things. So awesome, big thumbs up there. So yeah, coming in Wednesday, get myself checked into the hotel, and then go set up the booth. The Lynn Vander booth is not terribly massive. It's nice sized, and we're sharing space with a dice vendor that I can't remember for the life of me what the name of the dice vendor is. Crap. But then I know they make some cool stuff. They make the Elder Dragon dice that I wrote an adventure for. But yeah, so I'll be there setting things up on Wednesday. Wednesday night, we will probably have let's settle in, let's talk about what we've got planned, what's going on. We'll have the full gamut of that. Thursday, I am at the booth all day. I've got no plans during the day, no events, no signings, nothing that unless something weird comes up, I will be at the Lynn Vander booth all day on Thursday. And then Thursday night, I get together with my friends over at Strange Hollow, the Accidental Cyclops guys. We're having a little get together to kind of celebrate the fact that the book's done, and we're getting ready to start seeing proofs, and gonna be excited. Friday, I'm at the booth most of the day. But I do take a break from 2 to 3, where I'll be over at the Catalyst booth, celebrating the launch of my new novel, Night Court, a new Shadowrun novel that will be physically at Gen Con, and I'll be doing a signing there on Friday from 2 to 3. And then the rest of as soon as that's done, I go back over to the Lynn Vander booth, hang out there. I think I might have an actual play Friday night that comes up, but I don't know for sure. That's not currently set in stone, so I'm not gonna say that you'll see me there. And then Saturday happens. My Saturday is madness. It is utter madness. I come down to the booth in the morning, help get everything set up, help get it up and going, get through that first 45 minutes to an hour of mad rush when they open the doors, because I have a meeting from 11 to 12 that I have to take, a very, very, very important meeting. After that meeting, I go back to the booth for a little while, because then at 2 o'clock, I have a panel. It is creating imaginative worlds. Basically, me and a bunch of other panelists are talking about what it takes to create believable and fun, creative world settings, because everybody on the panel has done so. or has worked in those and helped flesh them out. That's from 2 to 3. When I'm done with that, I go back to the booth for a few minutes, and then I have to hoof it over to I think it's at the Hilton. For the Catacombs and Comedians, or rather Catacombs and Creators, comedic live play, which put on by the people at Catacombs and Comedians, our good friend Dan Taylor. He got us all together, and we actually have a stand-up comic special guest as one of the players, which is cool. Steve Whitley, I think is his name. Whitley. But Jenny Loveday, Sarah Babe, or Television's Sarah Babe, Chris O'Neill from Ninth Level Games, and myself are joined by the stand-up comedian Steven, where we are playing a group of Oops All Bards, and I put that in quotes because at least one of us is not good at barding. We'll just leave it at that. But we are a ska-themed adventuring party called the Hobgoblins. Yep, just let that set in. But what's funny is that at that show, Dan got a bunch of basically, like, think of it like a band event poster. He got a bunch of those made, so we're going to be signing posters as the band, and the posters are free for people who show up to the show. So if you're out and around and you want to go to the Catacombs and Comedians on Saturday, please do. You will get a cool poster. And my goal is, I hope I manage to get one of those posters, because I want to put it up somewhere. I want to put it up somewhere in here because it's a Hobgoblin poster. Come on, the Hobgoblins. They're real big in Greyhawk. And then after that is done, I get to go have dinner. I don't know with who, where, or what, but I will be. It's a good couple of hours of downtime where I'm just going to be like, not in go mode. But I need to turn right around and get back into go mode, because at 9 o'clock is the Shadowrun live event so we get together with Chrono and Elite and Nyx and I believe our friend KP is bringing Jim Bob. So yeah, so that's gonna be fun. It's gonna be madness. It always is. But I am more than a little excited to get on stage again for that. But then my Saturday is done. After all of that, as soon as Shadowrun is over, probably go out and get a couple of drinks and then just collapse. Because bright and early Sunday morning, I have to set up the booth, or help set up the booth. And then from 11 to noon at the Catalyst booth is my second novel signing slot, where I will be sharing the table with the editor-in-chief and one of the other writers of the Augment magazine, Jennifer Brozick. Which that'll be cool. That'll be fun to sit down, and I've worked with Jennifer on a bunch of things, so we'll get a chance to sit there and sign stuff and talk about cool things and just have a good time. Because when that's over, then it is back over to the Lynn Vander booth to see the end of Gen Con properly, hopefully making some sales, kissing some hands, shaking some babies, and then closing up shop, tearing down, and then heading home. So my Gen Con will be a whirlwind, but I hope that you will have a chance to, if you are going to Gen Con, you'll have a chance to swing past the Lynn Vander booth at one of the times that I will be there, so we get to say hi, and you can say, I watch your show, shake hands on a selfie or something. I don't know, whatever the case may be. Or just sit around and talk about cool things, because what else is this game industry for than cool things? Because that's the idea. But yeah, that's my Gen Con in a nutshell. I'm sure there will be more, and I will get to tell you about all the great things in 2 weeks. Obviously, I'm not going to have an episode next week because I'll be at Gen Con doing all this stuff. But then in 2 weeks, I will have basically effectively kind of the part 2 of this. This is the, hey, this is where to find me, this is what I'm expecting. And then the next episode in 2 weeks will be, this is how Gen Con went, and here's all the cool information. Hopefully I'll have lots of cool information to share with you. But that's really all I've got, because I need to get back to work. I got too much going on. But I absolutely, I'm in the right space. Infinite Stories looks amazing. Please go check it out. Go to the landing page for the Thundercats game so you can pay attention to when we launch that. I'm telling you, sometimes it's all hard work and it's stress and whatever, but there are days and there are weeks and there are times in this industry that is absolutely worth it, and I 100% feel that right now. I feel that the hard work and the stress and all of that, it's coming together for good reasons, and let's hope that stays that way and that positive uptick continues, because that's what I want to see. Out of me, anyway. Out of you, I want to see you be safe. Get your shots. Wear your hands. Wash your hands. Wear a mask. Just generally try and leave every room a little happier than when you got there, and I think things will be all right. There's a lot of madness going on out in the world right now, and all you can really do is kind of take care and center and try and stay positive and look for the good things. Look for what sparks joy, and try and spark a little joy in other people. So until 2 weeks from now, when I will see you again, please be safe and have fun and go play some games. Because definitely, it's Gen Con. I will. We'll see you guys in 2 weeks.